about 3 days later, my husband went into the hospital. So, that was the fun part. I'm going to play this because I like that song. Hold on a second. I'm going to turn it down some, though, so don't glare everybody's. The name of this is called Not This Time by 2Bears. It's a gay group. Then my husband had to end up in the hospital. Then I went home. So we were back and forth. And then the last Friday in December, my mom had to go to the hospital. So it has been crazy. Yeah, we dealt with a lot. But like I said, at least Bubba's came home, so that's a good thing. And all three of us came home. So I have this on just to show it, but I'm about to take this part off because it's uncomfortable. And I'll keep the others on. Let's get it going. So yeah, if you hop on and you see me on, we're still trying to build up because I've got the gram, the talk, and the tube, like that. So we're trying to get everybody to go over to the tube and just click subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and it can help us out. So I would appreciate it if y'all can. You don't have to. I'd never be mad at somebody for not, but it'd be wow. And you let anybody know that you know who needs a thank you. That about the hat. If you know somebody who needs a safe place just to be able to talk, tell them to come on, hop on in. That's what we're here for. Because that's what we're here for, is to be supportive of each other. Be there for people like we weren't or didn't have people there for us. So that's a little bit low. I don't like the tablet's camera because it's very dark. And I have lights on me right now. And by the way, just so y'all know, the Office of Dreams is coming back this week. It will be coming back this week. Oh, somebody just went over and followed. Yeah, I've got to do some stuff too. I just sit down for a minute because I'm going to have to run to the store shortly, and that's a pain. Having to hook up to the oxygen and drag it out the door and all that kind of stuff can be such a pain. So, but all of it. I got to get a new O2 as well. See, this one's more pliable. And then I've got one that's very rubbery, and I like it, but it has a short hose to it. And I'm thinking about getting an oxy mask. I'm doing well, Jack. How are you doing? To Alpha Bear, y'all, listen. I don't know if y'all ever go watched him. First of all, he plays games. He's really good at the games. I think that's really cool. And, I mean, if you're going to watch somebody watch games, they ought to be pretty. And he does fall into that category, too. So, the Alpha Bear, y'all go watch him. He's cool. It's a pretty... And if y'all have never watched the video, you ought to watch the video, too. It's called... the name of the group is 2Bears. Number 2 and bears beside it, 2Bears. And the name of that song was Not This Time. And it's a really cool song. Hey, Alan, how you doing? 2 in a row chat. Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. I have no idea how some people do it. If I could take y'all with me and live while I was out doing things like running errands, that kind of stuff, I'd love it. I would stay live all the time. But I can't. I get on live out there somewhere. I don't have the right coverage or something, and it bumps me off and it lags and all that, and it just drives me crazy. What was I doing? Y'all. Yeah, lazy bones. I'm doing okay. It's only 2 liters of oxygen, but it does help quite a bit. When the pulmonary embolism hit, it blocked blood flow, and my heart had to pump harder, which caused my heart to get overworked, and it put a strain on my heart. So they're doing this, giving me extra oxygen so that my heart's not having to work as hard for the oxygen. So, there's that. That's cool. Not to get, not to have to work so hard. If there's any questions about that, like a pulmonary embolism or O2 via nasal cannula or whatever, please feel free to ask. Because if I know the answers, I'll be happy to give you the answers. I kept feeling something touch my leg, and it was the cat. One of them, anyway. What are y'all doing? They're crazy. My cats are crazy. So yeah, if y'all see me looking, it's different. He came out a couple of weeks ago, and he says that it made it easier to tell his parents. Oh, that I made it easier? Well, tell him I'm not sure how I helped, but if I did, I'm very, very thankful that I did. I'm so glad. It's lovely to hear that. To hear that anything that I may have done could have actually benefited someone in a very rough period. It's like doing something in the mirror. It's hard to get right. This is what drives me crazy because I don't know how, but mine's going to end up like this. I don't know how, because now I can bend it, and I literally can place it if I'm just sitting around not doing anything. I can bend it like this. The tips are right at my nose, so any breath I'm taking, I'm getting the oxygen. See, so, but some way this one side will still, here soon you're going to just see it twist up like this. So, yeah. Absolutely. Well, then that means they're good parents, or at least that aspect of them is good. Because if a parent stops loving their child because they came out and said they were gay, then that's craziness. Hey. So, yeah, I can't imagine a parent doing that. I had something very similar happen to me, but I couldn't be that way with my kids. It doesn't matter what my children tell me. They will always be my children, period. I will love them no matter what. Hi, Red Chub. How you doing? Remember, when you see me talking, you go, cool. I just got a message from somebody who was talking about continuing some education with dementia patients. And I love that. And it was you that gave me, I don't know if I'm pointing at the same place yet. But that's awesome. I was a dementia nurse for a while. I ran a dementia unit. I love dementia patients. Red, I'm doing good. Red, not the same Red. When I said that, I noticed that. I have a character named Red. And by the way, y'all, that is not his real name. My Red is based on a real neighbor, and he is not red, though. Phenomenal. Cookie, how you doing? And anytime y'all see somebody, no matter where you are, whether it be here on the gram, the clock, or the tube, and you see people commenting and they're making good comments or interesting comments or whatever, follow them. Had memory care. See, I loved it. We to dementias, Alzheimer's, yeah, that can be rough, Michael. my dementia unit that I ran was it was a locked unit. It was both male and female. We had it set up that right in the middle, there was hallways that went down both sides, but instead of there just being a room in the middle, it was set up that it looked like a little house. You walked onto the front porch, then you walked into the living room, into the dining room, and into the kitchen. And then all of the rooms were listed as houses, had their own little street addresses. And that's how we ran it. And we had parties, we had all kinds of functions. It was lovely. And like I said, I love dementia people. On my YouTube, happy Sunday to you too. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the videos. That's what I do them for. I absolutely enjoy it. When somebody says they like it, that's cool. I'm still going to be having the red videos, but the Office of Dreams is coming back out. There is going to be some other videos coming out that's going to be kind of more for the tube, because they're going to be longer. There's going to be some reaction videos, those kind of things. So that's why I'm trying to get everybody I can, if they want to go over to the tube, click subscribe, because again, it's free. TikToks and a lot of them set it up to say you can charge people to come in, or to do certain videos and charge people for it. No, well, not me. I guess if I was going to teach a class of some kind and needed to raise the money for licensure or to pay for that class itself, possibly. But funny videos, things like that, I couldn't do that. I just would not be able to do that. Wouldn't be able to do it because it's, to me, well, I do it for fun. I do it for fun. And I enjoy when people, and thank you so much for liking the videos. That does help. I don't know how much it helps. Each one of them say if someone likes it or they share it or they do this or that it raises interest for other people to come in. I don't know how much weight that actually has. I know that I don't sit around and watch a video or looking at something and it go, hey, so-and-so got so many likes on this video, you should come look at it. So I'm not sure how much they put it out there. I know that the people I follow, the likes are at the top. Most of the time now, my For You is nothing but commercials. Yeah, community village. They had one in Denmark that it was an entire actual neighborhood. There were homes, and the homes actually opened into a communal yard, basically. And it had sidewalks and walkways and all that kind of stuff. So they could come out and walk and go anywhere they wanted to. So that's always fun. I thoroughly enjoy that for dementia units. So, but yeah, I love dementia units. Now, what I do now, I work from home, so which helps me now. To my YouTube, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming over. Like I said, it's not, and yeah, that's cool. Like I said, there's no charge to it. It just helps. And if any of y'all are trying to build up a channel and you want to people to follow it, let me know. I'll follow. Absolutely, we'll follow. Hey, everybody started off low at one point. Like, let's see, on TikTok, for the longest time, I had barely any followers. And I had a video that did pretty good, which was pretty cool. Yeah, it happens. Happens a lot on the clock app, too, where you'll like somebody and all of a sudden or you follow them and all of a sudden they don't follow you. Why am I on oxygen? A pulmonary embolism, along with various and sundry blood clots throughout both legs and chest. I did not know it was happening because those symptoms mimicked other things. Uh, so it wasn't until all of a sudden I literally, um, I just couldn't breathe. And I asked my husband, I said, I feel so weird. It feels like almost like bubbles are going through. You know how when you feel something in your stomach, like you feel a little bubble up in your stomach? Well, I kind of felt it here, and I'm going, what is that? Why is that happening? Well, apparently, I just arbitrarily produced clots, or did. Aw, thank you, Cookie. Um, I like your messages. They always make me smile, by the way. Um, I have friends on here who send me messages. Um, Sometimes they are um, just little funny clips or a funny picture, and it absolutely anything that makes me smile, I love it. So I'll get a video or a picture from somebody. Um, I have me and one friend used to try to see the craziest picture we could send each other. Funny faces or whatever. Always have a good time. Well, you're welcome, sweetheart. Actually, it would be so cool. And I've seen people who've been able to do this, and I would love to be able to do it. Um, like had enough money to do like, oh yeah, I'm going to get better. Hopefully. I mean, like a friend of mine told me, he said, well, you're either going to get better or you're going to die. I was like, yeah, well, that is true. I mean, there's probably nicer ways to say it, but that is true. But I would love to be able to like do a road trip and go to major cities or whatever in different states and countries or whatever, and meet the people that I have met while doing this. I would love it because I've met some wonderful people on here that I would absolutely love to meet. Now, in my own town, I say town, Birmingham, I've been working before. Hey, they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, by this time, I should be Hercules. But I've been standing there before, and it's funny because on here I am Bama2Dads. Well, just so you all know, that's not my actual name. Jess, I'm doing okay. I just I'm taking blood thinners now that should have dissolved the clots and kept me from getting any others. Pulmonary embolism. Um, but I have been, and my husband is doing. Today he's been a little nauseated, so he's kind of taking it easy today. Um, I've been standing around and hear somebody say, Bama. And I don't go by Bama when I'm out and about. Now, when I'm doing a function or something with TikTok or one of the other platforms and somebody says Bama, yeah, hey, yeah, that's cool. But in real life, my name is Jeff. Jeff or Jeffrey. 3 syllables. Jeffrey. Hi, my love. How are you doing, LaBelle? I told you I'm going to catch one of your shows one day. Yeah, it was very scary. It was very, very scary. Yeah. Your daughter is 33 and currently in the hospital with a PD. Yeah. And it's very painful. It is very painful. I hurt a lot in my chest, and I thought it was, it wasn't like cardiac pain. I don't think. I've never had cardiac pain, but it felt more what's called pleuritic pain. Uh, Pain in the lining of the chest that you get, like if you have the flu or pneumonia or something and you've coughed so much your chest is sore. That's the kind of pain it was hurting. That was the kind of pain I got, and it got really bad. But I could also sit there and my heart would, and I could tell my heart was beating and then we'd go. I told my husband, my husband used to be a paramedic, and I said, check my pulse, and he's really good at it, really good at cardiac strips, all that kind of stuff. Aw, thank you so much. I'm so glad. Jess. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all, I have to look because sometimes I'm crazy and I don't look. Because when people come in and they talk to me and actually carry on conversations, I don't know how to do that on here. Okay, it doesn't let me do that here. I try to add them. So on the clock app, it's easier to do than others. But if you're trying to grow your channel and you want me to add you, please let me know. If it's on one of the others, send me a message. And the best way to do it is to come into a live and chat with me, because I will add somebody in a heartbeat. Yeah. But yeah, pulmonary embolism is no joke. It's bad. And then when I got home, I was home about 3, maybe 4 days, and my husband went non-responsive, and I had to rush him to the hospital. So we have a lot of doctor's appointments coming up, but I'm still working. I'm still working full time. So that's what we're going to get to do. And thankfully I can, because I work from home. So I can continue to work. I can continue. Oh, wait. Somehow my messages get scrolled up. Yeah. But yeah, so I still am able to work at home. Well, thank you for the prayers. And I'm always appreciative of it. 10:30, let's see what, yeah. So, yeah, as long as I'm able, I will. Don't get me wrong. Hey, if there was a way, and there is, I see people who do it, who live off of social media and stuff like that. That would be absolutely cool. But I'm 54 years old. Am I 54? Yeah, 54, 55, one of the two. But anyway, and have kids, have to worry about insurance, all that kind of stuff. So I enjoy it, and I have made some money off of social media, but not enough to where I go, hey, I'm just going to live off of that now. But I do have some friends who we all started off together, and they have really kicked theirs in and started living off of it. Ripped Redneck, me and him started off about the same time. Jake started off about the same time as us. All have very different, very, very, very different content. I try to keep mine, I don't say I keep mine clean. I say I keep mine more PG rated, because I would like it that anybody be able to watch mine. You see people who come on here who get very, very close to being X-rated instead of just R-rated. And regardless whether this is supposed to be for kids or not, children still do watch it. There's no way to stop them from doing it. So I always just try to keep mine. Oh, I'm glad you do. Oh, which one? But I show my a comment got filtered. It's possible. I don't know how that. I live about 40 miles from Alabama-Georgia state line, but I never make it up to Birmingham. We'll see, through the Alabama-Georgia line. I'm trying to think whereabouts. So if you're saying make it up, I'm not going to guess the name of your town. I'm thinking about it in my head. But you know what? I did not know this. I was this many years old, because I just found out this year. Alabama is in the Central Time Zone, except for about 5 cities. There's 5 cities in Alabama that are on Eastern Time. I never knew that. Never knew that. So, but now I used to travel for work a lot. I drove everywhere. Uh, Tuscaloosa. Um, let's see, I drove to Tuscaloosa quite a bit, Mobile, in Alabama, Florence, then in Mississippi. I had facilities in Tupelo, Louisville, and Cleveland. Um, I've had to drive to Huntsville. Our corporate office is in Nashville, Tennessee, or Brentwood, so I've had to go up there. But now my job used to take me, um, let's see, Michigan, a lot of places in Michigan. Oh, I'm sorry. Is my voice too soft? We were speaking of that. We were kind of joking about that the other day because somebody heard me doing a video and said, "Was that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Said, "Well, you sound different." And I said, "What do you mean different?" And I knew what they meant. See, I was born in the South and in the country. Um, but when my first degree, I worked as a financial programmer. I was a foreign trade administrator, and I had to deal with people in other countries. And when I would talk to them, they couldn't understand certain things that I would say because English was not their first language. And I have a very thick accent. So when I had to talk on the phone or when I started to do videos, I had to kind of change the way I talk because there's the Southern talk where I carry on a conversation and it sounds a little bit more Southern. Now when I get mad, it goes from Southern to redneck because if I get real mad, I start sounding like I just got off the farm. Oh yeah, get on the phone and talk to somebody, especially and I had to be very careful because when I was dealing with money, I was dealing with millions of dollars every day, and you make a mistake even if it's down to 4 or 5 cents. So I even had to learn when I was doing numbers, you have to enunciate. So it was like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you had to go through them. Anyway, kind of boring, but yeah. Um, I tried to change the way I talked, and I sound different in person than I do on videos. Banjos when I make her. Oh yeah, yeah. I joke with my son all the time because he says that I'm very country. And one day I said something about him. He goes, "I'm not. I'm not." I'm like, "Oh, you have shown me your weakness. I'm going for it now." So now I mess with him all the time about his accent. When I go to west of Mississippi, my accent auto adjusts to sound so southern. I have noticed that too. To be talking to somebody from New York or Boston or even from the UK, and I don't know what happens, but my southern switch gets flipped. I will say this: I went to Michigan once in Traverse City, and I had to stop by a bar because it had been a horrible trip as far as uh, the airports and all that. We stopped at this little bar, and I was getting something to eat. I think it was potato skins or something like that. I don't know. But the bartender walked up and he said, "What can I get you to drink?" And I said, "I'll just take a beer." And he heard me say beer, and somebody else heard me say it. And they all kind of stop and look at me. He goes, "You're not from around here, are you?" And I thought, I can take this one of two ways. I said, "But I'm going to see. I'm going to have some fun." I went, "Well, no, sir. I'm from Alabama. I don't know if you can tell by my accent, but I am from Alabama." And I mean, that Alabama accent comes on a little bit thicker. And I didn't buy a drink for the rest of the night. or I don't think I paid for my appetizers either. Other people paid for them, which was cool. But now, back in the day, too, it used to be in better shape. The hair was blonde and not gray. Skin was a little bit smoother. You know, I am never going to say, "Oh, I was cute." I guess I'd say I'm cuter. I was cuter than I am now. But yeah, it was fun. And being Southern, Being Southern is you flirt. It's just the way it is. And so, oh yeah, aw, thank you. Oh yeah. And what's real funny is I have friends who lived here and moved to other places, and get on the phone with them, and they're with their friends from there, and they sound because they've lived there so long now that their accent is from Michigan or their accent is Californian or whatever. But the minute they fly back home, or if I'm visiting them and we sit around and talk a lot, their accent starts rolling out, and their friends will be looking at them like, "When did you get Southern?" It's like he's always been Southern. You're just now noticing it. But yeah, and too, like if I'm out, uh, especially when I was younger, I used to like ride motocross, and we would hit what we called the strip pits, um, and take off on our bikes and be out in the woods for days. And then you become very, very southernish or country. And the accents become more a little bit like this. You're talking to your friends and it just kind of rolls out more, you know. Or if you're mad, you tell them, listen, let me tell you something. You know what? I'm don't mess with me because I'm gonna tell you I can still stomp a mud hole. So that's when the accent comes out a little bit more. Watch some football and get some cool beans. Cool beans. I'm gonna have to go to the grocery store shortly. I don't want to. It's a pain having to get out. Right, it comes. Yeah. I'll tell you this. This is a funny story about Ohio and Michigan. I had to go to a friend's house in Michigan, and she was talking about something, and she said, "Well, it's out back." And I said, "Oh, I can go get it." I said, "You know where? Tell me where it's at." She said, "It's in the pole barn." I said, "It's in the what?" She said, "The pole barn." The what? The pole barn? She goes, "The pole barn." I'm like, "You have a barn that's like not rich, or why are you trying to shame your barn? I mean, what are we talking about?" She goes, "Pole barn." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Saying it like that doesn't make me understand it anymore. It was basically a shed, or it had just the top and then poles instead of like really four walls. And I'm like, "Oh, the shed." She goes, "Pole barn." I'm like, "You can keep saying it all you want to, dear. That's a shed." Um, then what was the other one? I had to literally convince somebody. She thought I was messing with her because I was talking about very southern things, very country southern things, and I said something about poke salad. She said, po- "Poke salad, no, poke salad." She goes, "Yeah, I'm not going to fall for it." I said, "What? You're not going to fall for it?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm not falling for it." I went, "Well, honey, I don't know if there's anything to fall for. It's poke salad. It's what it is." She goes, "Yeah, I'm not going to fall for it." I went, "Are you thinking I'm making a joke?" She said, "Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, no, I've never had it. Then you're going to like poke me or something." I went, "No, it's poke salad. It grows wild. You have to know how to cook it. Because in all honesty, if you cook it wrong, it's poisonous. You have to know how to cook it to make it where it's not poisonous." And she said, "Y'all cook poisonous things and eat them." I said, "Well, we don't eat them when they're poisonous. We fix that. We fix it." But, you have to keep in mind that country people in the South, uh, older than my generation and back, really, um, they ate what they had. I mean, if it walked across the yard, they either ate it or wore it. And poke salad, we used to go out and cut it, bring it in. Mom would cook it. Um, You had to boil it so many times, drain the water, boil it, drain the water, boil it, drain the water, boil it, and then you could season it and cook it. But yeah, that's what we did. And you had to learn, we knew terms that I really did not think was so Southern. Like, um, we were talking about squirrels one day, and my mom, being very Southern, she said, we can't eat them if they got the wolf in them. They got a wolf in them. No, no, they got the wolf in them. Your squirrels bark at you? No. It's what it was is basically like you see these videos now of people with bot flies. Well, it's very similar to that. It's an insect burrows its skin into the squirrel, and that's what it was. It's like a little bot fly, but they used to say that they had the wolf in them. So yeah. Oh yeah, we grew up poor. We didn't grow up poor because we didn't have any money. We grew up poor because my dad used all the money he had to take care of everybody. You know, my mom was the oldest of six, so he basically took care of her brothers and sisters, and then us. And every Sunday was dinner at our house because it never failed. Mother would fried chicken. It'd be fried chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes, uh, butter beans and cornbread, black eyed peas, things like that. So yeah, um, one of a favorite story of mine, which I didn't know until I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and I was talking to somebody. And I said, "Yeah, when we were younger, Mother would make us a treat." And my mom even stops and kind of starts listening to what I'm saying. I said, "Yeah, she would make us what we call chocolate biscuits." And what it was is it was regular. She'd make big old cat head biscuits. And cat head biscuits just means the size of them. They'd just be a big biscuit, these big biscuits. And she would make this chocolate syrup that you poured over it. So it was like chocolate gravy. And my mom just goes and kind of laughed. And I said, what's so funny? She goes, Jeffrey, you thought I was making that as a treat. She said, when I went into the kitchen and there was literally nothing else to make, uh, that was the cheapest thing I could make because they had back in the day where you had the powdered cocoa for like chocolate milk or whatever, and you just made it had a little. You could make chocolate gravy or a chocolate syrup, and she'd make us these biscuits and pour them on them. But to us, it was a treat. What we didn't know was it was literally because we had nothing else. Oh, Lee, thank you so much. This that I have up about following us on the others kind of blocked it for the little kissy heart. But thank you. That's so sweet. Gifts are never mandatory, ever. They are appreciated because once the account gets to a certain point, then we do a lot to see what kind of charities we can give money to. We collected back blackberries, absolutely. Flour dumplings. Oh, yeah. Mom would make those dumplings. Power food. Yeah. Yeah. I called my mother when I grew up. I was in my 20s. I said, Mom, I want to make some chicken and dumplings, and I love your dumplings, so I want you to tell me how to make them. She said, all righty. So she gave me the recipe and everything. She said, okay, now you make and roll out like a little dime size ball of dough, plop it in the pot. Well, I'm sitting there thinking, I like dumplings, so I'm going to make me some dumplings. So, I mean, I'm patting them bad boys out. I look like I'm making snowballs. And I pop them in there, and I'm in the living room, and I hear, and I'm thinking, what is that? What is that? And then as I walk into the kitchen, um, I notice that the dumplings are now coming out of the pot and coming to find me in the living room because you make them small because they expand. Yeah, I didn't know that. So that's why Mom was telling me to make them small because they get bigger. So small ones would get about this big, but when you make a baseball size one anyway, they come out. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Hello, shortcake. How you doing? Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. Now I will tell you this: out of all the things, and I'm a pretty good cook. Everything I cook, mine is southern kind of stuff. Now I'm really good at like marinara sauces when it comes to pasta. My husband has me beat when he makes cream sauces, excellent cream sauces. I'm getting better, and but me, no, I'm better at the marinara sauces, the meat sauces. I cannot, to save my life, make a biscuit. I cannot make a biscuit. My biscuits will come out and be pretty, like you could make advertisement with him. Hey, how you doing, LB? LB, um, they're beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. But from about 3 feet away, I could kill you with one of them. Just whap, take you out. They are hard as a rock. My mom has stood beside me and talked me through every step. I mean, okay, now you do this. Okay, yep, great. That looks great. Now do this. Great. Looks great. Okay, now do this. I've done it exactly how she says to do it. Make them. They come out. She goes, they're pretty. You bite it. No, I think it's a body chemistry kind of thing. But if I cannot make biscuits, I cannot make a biscuit. So I don't try anymore because it makes me so mad. But I can make I make homemade spaghetti from everything. I can the homemade noodles, homemade marinara sauce, everything down to peeling the tomatoes and cooking everything. So I do love to, and I love to cook. So yeah, on the block, on the clock. Hmm. I wonder why. I have no idea because I haven't changed anything. It could be the because I have the little green screen thing here. I have to point on that on the clock app. Oh, for the rest of y'all, just so you'll know what it just says follow Bama2Dads on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. That's the only thing it says. I keep mentioning it, but it's not on my other ones. So, you know, that's fun. But yeah. Oh, and I was really happy about yesterday because I had asked people to follow us yesterday on the tube and had quite a few people come over there. So, I mean, I'm not expecting it. What did I just change? I'm not expecting it to hop up and 100,000 followers. No, I'm not talking about that because I don't have that kind of content anyway. Uh, but what are you doing? There we go. The It did pop up there, and I had a few more followers, so that was really cool. What I don't think I'm gonna tell y'all this because this really does amaze me. Oh wait, hold on a second. This is gonna pause for a second. Is that better? Because I had a earpiece in on the phone, so it might have been making it sound different. Um, I can hear. Okay, cool. I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was that bad. Um, much better. The like the followers that I have, the ones on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whichever ones, I have no clue how I have that many followers. None. Because I don't do the same kind of um, videos as other people. It's a very niche kind of video. Um, you know, don't get me wrong. You see these guys out there who take their shirt off. The one guy who just does nothing but chop wood and take his shirt off. He's no content. He just tears the wood open. Uh, Dude, if I was cut like that still, I'd be sitting here without my shirt on all day long, going, "Yeah, oh, yes, yes." believe me when I say it. Yeah, no, that stuff. So I'm not taking away from anything that they do, say, or whatever they get, that's cool. And people make uh, lots of different kinds of videos, and people go watch them, and that's that kind of stuff. Which, um, that's if that's what people want to do, I say yay, do it. I don't. As long as what you're doing is not hurting someone, do you, do you? But yeah, it still amazes me. I don't really look. I have no idea how many followers I have on TikTok. I really don't. I know that it's up there a little bit. I mean, not much because I've got a lot of friends who have way more than I do. Way more than I do. I would do that. You know what? One of my first videos I ever did that gained any popularity was me doing one about boys wearing makeup. I didn't plan this video. I was outside working in the yard. I looked awful. I mean, looked awful. Came in, my hair was frizzy, my beard was kind of out to here. I looked bad, but I was about to go pick the kids up from school. I sat down and recorded a video, and I said, basically, I got something to say about all these boys out here wearing makeup and doing makeup tutorials and all that. What do you think would cover right here? That was the video. Send. Well, that morning we had been talking about the followers or something, but joking around, going, I've got 400 followers, me and the kids. And that afternoon, when I went and picked them up, as I come back in the door, I just turned it on and looked and went, y'all, how many people did I say we've had following us this morning? It's like 400. I went, 400. That's, yes, 400. Yeah. I said, how many do we have now? I said, well, this ain't 400 because we were up around 4,000. And I started looking at, you have 364,000. Cool. That just blew my mind, honestly. But yeah, the followers went up, and people were, most of the comments on the videos were funny because it would be people saying, deleting half of a paragraph, because they were going to be mad at me for something I was saying, and they realized I wasn't being ugly. Oh, thank you. Yeah. The two of you both in your comedic routine. Well, thank you, Cookie. Thank you. Well, I had people reach out to me and say, well, let me ask you this. Would you let me do makeup on you? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah. If we live close enough and you want to, absolutely you can. Now, I'm not going to do it. I have nothing against it. Guys want to wear makeup, hit it, wear it, do it great, love it for you. Mine has nothing to do with it being me being a guy and wearing makeup. Mine is, you want me to get up how much earlier in the morning to put makeup on? No. I'm going to sleep. My routine for getting up in the morning, because everything is done at night, when I get up in the morning, just go to the bathroom, run a comb through my hair, brush the teeth, boom, gone, out the door. Because keep in mind, too, when I was working outside the house, I was in scrubs. So I wore pajamas to work, so I didn't even have to worry about suit and tie at that point. Hello, Shadow Wolf. How are you? So, yeah, I have no problem with it. Am I going to do it? No, because I'm just not going to take the time to do it. No. I mean, I look at the guys that wear it. What's the guy's name who does? He's the first one I ever saw. This is what it looks, what it's like working at Sephora. And he does some video where he'll be like the straight guy coming in to buy like, he came in to buy like a moisturizer or something, whatever. And he played this other self wearing makeup. He does great makeup. A beautiful man with makeup, a beautiful man without makeup. Me? No, I am not. I'm just not, y'all. I'm old. I need my sleep, okay? If I could get away with shaving my head like with a straight razor so that I didn't even have to comb it, I would have it shaved. Yep. I tried something very interesting the other day. I should have recorded it, but I did not because I didn't know. Yeah, is thank you, Fly. Um, I was going to try. We have a waxing system because my husband doesn't do anything, minor. Like we go, oh, look, I'm going to wax right here once every 6 months. So he goes buy an entire waxing station. Anyway, so I got it. And I thought, well, you know what? Oh, cool. Well, head on over. Follow me. Follow over there. Um, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna try right here. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see what it's like. So I put a strip right here, just at the line where the hair would come up. It wouldn't be. It dipped down into it enough to get like I'd say 4 or 5 rows of follicles right here that I could just. And I said, I got this. Now I'm not going to repeat the rainbow words that I screamed into the towel as I went. I walked into the bedroom and my husband was laying there and I went, I messed up. I messed up. He goes, what? I went, oh, I messed up. I'm not ever doing that again. And then I told him what it was and he was like, you knew better. And I'm like, I know. Am I bleeding? But yeah. So I did one time years ago. They came out with this product. It was like Nair, but it was for faces. And I thought, well, I'll try it. So I tried again. I'm not crazy. I don't go because, sometimes things work different for different people. So I put a little bit right there and I walk out and I'm talking to some friends of mine. I'm like, they said, what's wrong with you? That's hot. Is it supposed to be hot? And they went, it's not really supposed to be hot. It should tingle. I went, it's not tingling. It's burning. It's not tingling. So I went out and I scraped all of it off. And when I washed it off, I took it off. It did remove the hair and the top 2 layers of skin. So, I mean, I was like scabbed over, scarred for a long time. Now, my sister, I will say this about women wearing makeup. My sister didn't really wear makeup. She didn't have to. She had a beautiful complexion. You can't tell by looking at me because I am so white that I'm almost clear. My brother, mother, and my sister all are dark complected, dark hair, dark eyes, like almond colored eyes, hair almost completely black. You can walk by them and go, "Son," and they tan. Yeah, like this one. They say, "Oh, what is your undertone? Do you have a pink undertone?" No, I have a clear undertone. My undertone is whatever's behind me because you can see it. I'm almost, one step or two more, I'm translucent. So my sister never really had to wear makeup. Every once in a while, she'd put on lipstick. But this whole like contouring and stuff like that, no, she never did. She wouldn't. She was the same as me as far as some things. She wouldn't have sat still long enough to put it on her. My mother, I always joked that I would have loved to, because all of ours are boys. I would have loved to have had a little girl, the stereotypical little girl. And when I say that, I mean, because I would have loved to have done the little lacy things and all that kind of stuff. I think it would have been cute. My daughter probably would have been the biggest tomboy on the face of the planet. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing. Because if she just said, I don't want to wear dresses, I'd have never made her wear dresses. My mother swore up and down that my sister was allergic to lace. She said every time lace came in contact with my sister, she broke out in screams and tears. So, yeah. Why my cheeks look a little bit red? They're not red. That's the blood flowing under the skin. That is the veins and everything you see. I'm just clear. But yeah. Oh, this is getting on my nerves. I got to get a new one. And I'll tell you that one thing too. This right here catches on everything. I'll be walking. You don't know what it's like to be led around until you've stepped on one of these that you're walking, and you go, "Whoa," trying to carry something. I had a couple of drinks in my hands the other day, and I was standing on it. And I was going, "Oh my God, this is it. I'm dead." Yeah. Um, and for me, like, uh, two, I'm not the typical gay. Like, you're, back in the day when I was coming up as the gay man, it was Tommy Hilfiger, those kind of things that were people wore. Me, I'm comfortable in cut off shorts, sweatpants, loose fitting shirts. Things I love hoodies, that kind of stuff. This is just kind of stuff I wear. I can dress up and have on occasion. I used to work in an industry where I had to wear a suit and tie to work every day. And when I graduated nursing school and became a nurse, I swore up and down I'd never do it again. I got rid of every one of mine except for maybe 3 ties, 2 or 3 shirts, and a couple of suit jackets because I hated it. I hated wearing a tie every day. Doing this just choked me out. But I could do it. I could sling a tie on in a heartbeat, just have it tied up and go. But yeah, I'm just not that kind of person. Um, if we go out someplace nice, I dress up, you know, but I don't want to go to places where I would really have to wear like suit and tie. I tell people, like for me, um, if something ever happens to me, I want to be cremated. I've said don't spend money on a funeral for me. I did threw one for a friend of mine one time who passed away, and we did just a celebration. And we did it at a local pub. Everybody came in and we stood around and talked and had a couple of drinks and laughed and cried and all that, and that was wonderful. But this whole thing, especially in the South, where, you know, to me, funerals don't make sense. First of all, you take somebody that someone loves and you put them in a box. Then you take the person who is obviously mourning. You take them and you go, come here, look at them. They're dead. Are you? You're not crying. They're dead. They're never going to come back. This is the last time you go. Okay, you're crying. You're crying. That's good. Now, don't cry. Don't cry. But they're dead. You're never going to see them again. Okay, go sit down, and let's let people come up here and talk about them who barely knew them, and they're going to say stuff that you know is a lie. Like, he was a great man. No, he wasn't. He was a good man, but he wasn't great. I mean, he had his problem, you know. And then afterwards, you go, "Oh, come back up here. We're about to close it. You're never going to see them again. Come on. Come on. Watch, we're going to close it." Whoop. No, wait. No, no. You want to see them again? There they are. Whoop. No, no, no. Okay. Okay. All right. Follow me to the graveside. Now we're going to put them in a hole, in a deep hole, and we're going to push the dirt on them. You want to watch us bury them, you knowing that you'll never see them again? Come on. Now, everybody, uh, I hope y'all had a wonderful time at the funeral. My funeral, walk up, grab a beer, shot, whatever, go, here's to him. I either loved him or hated him. That's the honest truth. You either love me or you hate me. And either way, if you want to have a drink to me at the end, have a drink. You know, a drink, I'm going to miss him, or a drink, I'm glad he's gone. I just don't. And I tell my family, use that money that you're going to spend on that outrageous funeral and go on a trip. Go on a trip somewhere. Take a vacation. This is a lot of money. You know, there's always, in the South, there's always going to be somebody who kind of throws themselves on the casket. It's going to be usually somebody that they really didn't like them anyway. You know, it's the aunt who's going to come up and go, "Oh, no, I miss him so much. I didn't think he liked you. Oh, we were the best of friends. Hey, we were just the best of friends. You hadn't seen him in 3 years. We were the best of friends." You know, that kind of stuff. Just be genuine, be honest. Honestly, if somebody stands up at my funeral and went, I didn't like him at all. Okay, cheers. Yeah, the aunt that did nothing to the doctor. Yeah, um, I have. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I hope none of them are in here. Uh, but in my family, you can't throw a stick without hitting a Baptist preacher. And believe me, I try it. I'll throw a stick, and I usually hit 3 or 4 of them. But so at every funeral, they get up and speak and preach because they want to take this opportunity and bring you to the Lord. That is why this opportunity exists. No, it doesn't. He crashed his motorcycle into a tree. That's why this opportunity exists. It don't have nothing to do with getting them to come to the Lord. Anyway, so they're all going to get up there and try to preach. I've said I want snipers posted at every corner. And if I actually do have one, if one of them tries to get up, now don't get me wrong, I'm not heartless. They're my family. I don't want somebody to, unalive them. Just shoot them in the foot. That way they can't walk up there. But yeah, I want the friend to get up there and go, you know, here's to him. We had some crazy times. I can't believe he lasted as long as he did. We should have been dead years ago. Are you kidding me? Where's the tequila? I want you to bring me the tequila. That kind of stuff. Let's just have fun. Um, I think it should be, it is a part of life, period. You ever seen I made a video, I think I used the soundbite once, where it said life and death were talking, and death asked life, why do people love you and hate me? And life said, because I am the beautiful lie and you are the ugly truth. And it's true. For me, it's going to happen. I'm closer to it now than I am to my birth. So, one day it's going to happen. And when it does, just know I lived my life. That's what I did. Off every name in my name folder. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've told the kids, I want them to get my phone and text people while they're sitting in the funeral. Go, hey, I see you. Or, what are you doing here? I never did like you. What are you doing at my funeral? And, like that. Um, the the Irish funeral, the Irish wake that you were talking about, I love it. Was it Irish or Scottish? The guy who recorded his own message at the funeral, and it was him basically yelling to get out of the grave. I think it was hilarious. Have fun with it. Or I've told him to take my ashes and mix me with like mortar and make a little statue out of me and stand me on the mantle. That way, when people come in and they go, "Oh, who's that?" Go, "Oh, that's Poppy." Well, that's a good likeness. No, no, no. That is Poppy. I mean, that's him. Have fun with it. Yeah. If you don't repost it, yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Uh, I just think it's hilarious to watch them, and I have a unique experience. I mean, seeing it through hospice eyes too. Like I had a grandmother who was raising her grandchildren, or her great grandchildren actually. Well, she was dying, and one of the boys was there. He's like 12, and they were dragging this child to the bed. They wanted him to see her. Come here and look. She's gonna be gone. Come here. Well, the kid gets there and he drops his head and cries. The minute he cries, oh no, no, no! Now you got to man up. You got to man up. I went, whoa! I reached over and I put my arm around the little boy and I said, come here for a second. I said, son, that was your grandma. And if you want to cry, you cry. Oh, thank you, Carol. I said, because she passed away and you have the right to cry. I said, and if you want to cry, you sit right here beside me and cry, because I guarantee you, by all that's holy, no one is going to say anything to you about crying. absolutely no one while you're sitting next to me. And he sat next to me and cried for a little bit, and no one said anything, because I would have a fight would have broke out at that viewing if somebody had, because that drives me crazy. They're first of all, you tell little boys that they can't cry, and then something's wrong with the little girl if they don't cry, and it's like, no, it's not. If he wants to cry, he needs to cry. If she doesn't want to cry, she doesn't need to cry. It's not gender related. From the last time I heard, grief didn't have a gender. And stop trying to push how you feel on somebody else, because it's not always true. Sometimes I have seen people who their families did not come up when they died. In certain cases, it was some piece of crap families that didn't come up there. That would be one reason. But then there were other reasons, and I would tell people, you don't know what happened. This man that you've known for a couple of years, who's basically been bedbound and can barely say anything, you've known him like this. You have no idea what he was like when they were children. He could have beat them every day of their lives. And you're mad because they didn't come up here? That he didn't deserve them to come up there. I mean, that's just the long and short of it. So, and it's vice versa too. It's one of those things that I have seen people who, now I've also seen it this way. Somebody be in the nursing home. We've known them for 5 years, never met their family. Never, because they never came up there. But the minute they died, my mama had a ring. Probably. Where's that ring? I don't know what I do. She's been here for a long time. Somebody could have came and got that ring a long time ago. But that's when I had one man tell me he needed her to live. But you've never been up here. You need her to live. And then it hit me. He was getting a check. If she died, he wasn't going to get that check anymore. So yeah, he needed her to live. Yeah. Yeah. See, people don't get that, Jess. They don't get, and it traumatizes kids. My children, now, if I don't make them, this is the South, we're going to a funeral. Who is it? It's your cousin Martha. I have a cousin Martha. Oh, you've never met her. Why am I going to her funeral? Because it's family. Well, I don't do that to my kids. I said, hey, so-and-so has died. Do you want to go? Now, if it's somebody like an aunt, like a literal aunt, a grandmother, yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go pay respect. And I ask them, do you want to go up and see her? No. Okay. You don't have to. Are they not going to go up? No. Well, why are they? Whatever the reason is, it's none of your business, and we're not going to discuss it here. I don't do that to my kids. Y'all, I'm from a generation in the South that they used to bring them home. We basically set Shiva with them at the house. I had an uncle whose casket was in the living room. I walk into the living room one morning and I'm about 4. Go. Casket. So yeah, we used to bring them home. Because back in the day, back in the country, first, a lot of times there wasn't a funeral home close by. And you had to. You brought them home. They used to, there were situations where they would talk about people setting up, and it does happen. Usually not when they're embalmed, but back in the day before they embalmed them, people would wake up sometimes, set up. Sup? I mentioned him in a script today because I've been writing up, and there's going to be the office will be back open this week. The Office of Dreams. So yeah, and with the rings and everything, that was fun. We need to do some more crossovers. I'd like for all of us to get together and do some crossovers. That would be huge. That would be fun. Because I think you've done crossovers. I've done crossovers with Hell's Bells. Uh, you have you've done with several people though. But yeah, the Office of Dreams is coming back this week. I just had to get to the point where I could film because it's not easy. You know, I can do this. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, you know. And don't get me wrong, I can be without my oxygen for a little bit. That's not a huge thing. And when I leave the house, I don't have to carry tanks with me. I have a portable oxygen concentrator that I can carry with me. But yeah, anytime, if you ever have something come up that you want to do something like that, an idea of yours, let me know. I'm feeling a lot better. I mean, I'm still tired, you know, but I think a lot of that is because, you know, old. But I'm feeling a lot better. Just working away. In fact, speaking of that, I just looked down and see what time it was, and I've been on here for almost 2 hours. I have got to run because I have got to go to the grocery store. But I will see y'all later. If you haven't subscribed over on YouTube, please do that because with all of us know that on certain other apps, they're getting crazy. So we want to make sure that we're covered. So subscribe over there, and we'll see you later. So y'all, peace, love, and chicken grease. I'm out.